Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's G from Happiness and Crafting. So today we're going to have a little bit of fun. We're going to make some backing papers with the gel plate. Now the gel plate that I'm using is the gel press, and it's 8 by 10 inches. Now you can get all sorts of different makes of them. So there's lots of options and there's lots of different sizes. Now lots of you have asked me, because I showed you some papers. We're making some stuff yesterday or a couple of days ago on a video. Now this is what they come out like, so you can have all sorts of different patterns on there. So I'm going to attempt to show you how to do it. I am still learning, so there are lots and lots of videos out there to show you how to do it, but I'm just having a play just to show you how I do it. Now today I've got a little rubber stamp. It's a silicone stamp on there, so I'm going to use that, and I've also got some stencils on here. So just a variety of stencils here which we're going to use to make patterns on the back. I also have some feathers which I would like to use as well. These are the brayers, so I've got 2 here, just cheap ones. These are the ones I bought from the shop, my local shop. But I have got some that I've ordered off Amazon, so I do have a link to some of the things that under the video. And the paints that I'm using are just acrylic paint, just a cheap one. It's not even €2 a little tube, so I've just got a few from my local shop as well, just to try out. I'm not going to buy expensive ones because you get through so much of it, so I'm just using those. So that's about it really. So it's quite exciting. So I'm going to use the bigger brayer here. Oh, I've also got some of my wildflowers as well, which I thought might look quite nice on there as well. So we shall see how that goes. So to start off with, I'm going to use a little bit of brown on here. So I'm just going to blop some paint over here. You don't want too much. So just pop it on and just roll it over like that. So all as a jelly plate is just to make some just to do some printing really, and make yourself some nice backing papers, and it's lots of fun as well. So you just want sort of like a thin layer. Don't put too much on because it's just slides all over the place. If you've got too much, just have a piece of paper next to you and just roll it over the paper. Now I'm going to start off with a little bit of a stencil. Now let me untangle these here. So these are stencils that I've just got from AliExpress, so they're just sort of like cheap stencils. So I'm just going to lay that down and just roll it over like that, just so you get a lovely mark on there, and then just put them randomly wherever you'd like, just like that, just so it indents on there like that. Now you want to sort of like try and let that sort of like dry just a little bit. So I've got a little bit of card just to waft it. Oh, there go my feathers. Just to waft it dry a little bit. It's quite thin layer, so it won't take too long to dry, because you want to put another layer over the top. And if you leave this one to dry a little bit, you'll keep the marks on there. But if you put if it's too wet, it will just all smudge in. So then I'm going to use a little bit of the antique white. Now I like to put it onto the paper like that, and then you don't get the little blops on there, so it just rolls over nicely. So don't want to put too much over the top, just roll it over nicely. Now I'm just using some copy paper. So this is just 100-gram copy paper on here. So then you just want to rub your hand over the top just to pick up that paint. And look at that. I think that looks really, really lovely. So this is how I got all those lovely patterns on the envelopes that we made in the last video. And I think they look really nice. So then you just carry on. Add a little bit more paint, whatever colours. I'm just using sort of like the greens and the browns on here. Just pop a little bit of a mixture on there, roll it on. Sometimes it goes quite dark. Now, just have a good old roll around. There we go, and you can take some off. If you've got too much on there, you can just sort of roll it off. Now, shall we have another? Let's have a little round stencil on here. On there, just pop that on and just roll it onto it. Just making some lovely shapes on there. Just like that. Which I think looks really good. So let's just see if we can just let that dry a little bit. You can just put your paper over the top, but I like to put sort of like another layer over the top of it. Just let that dry. Pop a little bit of the cream over it. Well, it says antique white, but it's sort of a creamy colour. Pop that over the top. Just a little bit. Another sheet of paper. Pop that down. And there we go. So these would look lovely in a botanical journal, wouldn't they? Made into little tags and all sorts of things. So I think that looks really nice. So let's go back over this, whatever we've got on the roller. Pop over the top. Just like that. So what I'm going to do with this one, I'm going to pop a little piece of paper over the top just to get that base colour. And then I'm going to add a few feathers to this. So that's the colour that we've come up with. And I'm going to go over the top of that one. So we are going to go, oops, covered in paint, a little bit of brown over the top like that. A little bit. You will find when you do it that you don't need very much paint at all, because when I started doing it I used way too much paint. So I'm just going to put those down. Now I'm going to try and add some of these like this. Just pop these on top. So these are just my the wild flowers, the die cuts from Tim Holtz. I'm just going to stick these down. A few little randoms like this. So you can use anything as a stencil. Let's use these. Pop that one there. Oops, I think there's two on there. Yes, I got two. There we go. We don't want two on there. Got another one. Little one there. Oops. And then I'll pop this one there. So just like that. And I'm going to pop this one back over the top and just rub it and see what happens. Rub it nice and hard, and then just lift that up like that, and then you've got the lovely imprint on there. So that looks really nice. Oh, I like that. So when you take these off, should just have a little bit of the paint underneath. Oh, I've got two on there as well. Put these off gently, and this one. Now I'm going to go over the top. Let's have a little bit of cream. See if we can pick up those other ones underneath. Get a clean piece of paper. Pop that down. And there we go. Our lovely wild flowered paper. So I'm loving that. That looks really nice. Whoops. Look at that. I think that looks so good. Beautiful tag. So those two, there we are. That's the difference. So I'm liking that. Right, so let's make some feather ones. I'm not going to do huge amounts on here. So what should we have? We'll have brown again. A little bit of brown on there. Oopsie daisy, we don't want you on there. Roll this on. So it's just really having a lovely play, isn't it? Making a bit of a mess. Something a little bit different to do. So if you like to do mixed media, this is perfect for you. To make your own backing papers and all sorts of things. So I'm going to pop some feathers on this. So I've got some feathers, just some random feathers that I have in my stash. Pop them all over. Oops. Again, you can use anything that will make an imprint. Let's just stick some of these down. Oops. And then we'll have that one there. Perfect. Another piece of paper over the top. So you should have a nice white imprint of the feathers on here. Oops. Take you off there. There we go. Oopsie daisy, sticky feathers. Look at that. So that is really nice. Take them off gently. So I think that looks so nice on there. So let's get the image of the feathers as well. So let's put another, I'm going to just use the cream because then it should pick up the lovely brown feather marks on there. Just go over the top gently. See if we can pick those up. Pop this over the top. Wow, that's really lovely. Look at that. It's like lovely vintage feathers on there, doesn't it? I'm liking that one. Really nice. So that would make fantastic tags and a little cover, journal cover, wouldn't it? Beautiful. Okay, so what shall we do now? Shall we just do a couple more? I need to go for, let's have a little bit more green so they all blend in nicely together. Again, you can have all nice vibrant bright colours and mix your colours up. Just experiment, because that's the whole fun of it. I think I've got something feather stuck on there. A little bit too much green, I think. Just take a little bit off, rub it onto your paper. I think I might add just a little bit of cream in there. It's a bit too green for me. If we can lighten it up a little bit. There we go. Let's pop another stencil on here. So if you want to make some nice funky backgrounds, just get your stencils and pop them on. Just rub a little bit off there. Like that. And now what I'm going to do, where's my little one with the, oops, get them all caught up. This one's got a lovely leaf on it, so I just wanted to just see if we can get the imprint of that leaf on there, which is nice. Another one down there. Perfect. Now let's just waft this dry a little bit, so you can leave it for a little while. Just let that just dry, just so it doesn't smudge them all together, all the layers of colour together. So let's see if that's going to be dry enough. Oopsie daisy. Right, I'm going to pop a little bit. Let's go for the cream thing. I've got the cream here. See how that's going to come out. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit of brown to that as well. Just a little bit. Oopsie daisy. Okay. This one's going to be quite green. There we are, look at that one. I like these leaves on here, they're really nice. That's a nice vibrant green one. Let's just go over this again, because it leaves some of the marks underneath, which I quite like when you've got little bits left over. Put that down there so it's sort of like, leave it to dry a little bit more. What other colours shall we put on there? Let me just pop another little bit of the creamy colour. I quite like it when it looks sort of like a bit painty effect, sort of like peely paint, like old. So it's quite nice to sort of like just pop it around sort of like the edges. Now once it dries a little bit, it will come back off again. You can take some of it off like that. Now I'm going to use this stencil. I love this stencil. Just like this. Which is good. I think that's come out. Now I'm just going to just dry that just a little bit. Okay, I think that should be enough. I'm going to go over that with some brown again. So this should sort of like give you a bit of an idea on how they work. Like I said, I am not an expert, I'm just playing. I haven't done this very much at all, but it's such fun just to have a little play and see what you can come up with. So let's just pop that over the top. There we go. So that's really nice. So you've got green bits from the last one that we did. So I'm liking that. That's almost like a collage, like a patchwork, collage on that one. So we could just keep going and going and going. Use a little bit of the leftover paint that I've got on here. And there like that. Well, I'm going to just fold this piece of paper over. Be careful when you leave your roller on your paper because it does stick to it, and you'll end up picking up bits of paper off there. So what shall we do on this one? Let's use this little silicone stamp on here. So I'm just, oopsie daisy, just going to press that into little areas like that. And there. Just a few. And I'll have a little bit of this stencil. Just put that there. probably can't see that very well. Let's just dry that off. And these are really good for making background papers, because once you've done it you can add to it with pens and markers and all sorts of things. So let's add a little bit of cream. Let's see how well this one will come out. So that's really nice. So you can add to this. I'll show you in the next video how you can add more interest to it to make it a bit more like a mixed media piece. So I'm liking that. I'm liking all the little shapes in there. So let me just see if I can make a couple more of those so we can do another video on a few sort of like enhancing them a little bit. Pop a little bit on here, a little bit of cream, roll it all over like that. Let's see what we've got. Got this nice round one here. Just take a little bit of the paint off. Go. Perfect. Use a little bit of this. And this stamp. Let's just. These are great with just have the sort of like background stamps, so be careful if you've got one with writing on, because it will come out mirrored, won't it? So there we go, a few little bits on there. Perfect. Okay, let's just quickly waft that dry. Like that. Pop some cream over the top. Look at that. Oh, I like that. That's really nice. Lots of things in there to go around and enhance. So I'm liking that. Now I need to go and get some more colour, different colour paints. But obviously our shops aren't open because of lockdown. So I'm very limited on my colours because I don't really have that many acrylic colours. On here I do have the Arteza ones which I could probably use, but because I'm just playing here I'm just going to just do it in the sort of like browns and greens so they all sort of like match up. Put a little bit on the corners. I think that's a little bit too much. Good exercise as well. Bit of exercise, bit of arm exercise there. Just roll that around. The more you wipe it onto the paper and go on here, so you can take the colour right off like that, so it's not so dark. So you do get through quite a bit of paint. I'm going to go for this one again because I absolutely love this stencil. go. Where is this one? Put that on there. There we go, looks quite nice, doesn't it? Let's see if that's, give it a little dry like that, and then we can go over it. I think I'll go over this with a bit of brown, just a light touch. Maybe I'll add a little bit of the cream in with it, just so it's a bit of a lighter brown. There we go. Okay. There we go, look at that. I'm liking that one, that's really nice. Really nice. So you can scan some of these in as well onto your computer, which is really nice. So you can have lots of lovely backing papers for yourself, if you've got a really nice one that's come out. But I'm liking that, that's really lovely. So let's do another, should we do another quick feather one, because I do like the feathers, and we've still got a little bit of the print from the last one on there. Let's pop that just a little layer on there, pop some of the feathers back on like this. These are fun, aren't they? That there, nice big blue one. This one here, oops, just like that. Okay, put that down. Look at that, wow, that's really nice, loving that. Let's take these off. And we will be able to get the imprint of the feather as well on the next one. So let's go over with what we've got left on the paper there. Lovely, hasn't come out too dark, but they are still really nice, really lovely papers. I think I'm going to try and go over this one. So if I do a lighter creamy one on here, I might be able to just make those white feathers a little bit creamer, so they're not so white. I might make it a mess, but we shall see. Bit of pattern on top of that. Oops, I think my camera just clicked off then. So let me just, so I've just got that on there with the pattern on it, so I'm just going to pop this over the top just like that. I'm not quite sure whether that was quite level, but never mind. That's it. That's nice. Now the feathers have got a lovely pattern in them. I'm liking that. So there we go, guys. Well, that's a few things that we've done today. So as I say, I'm not the best at it, but I'm still practicing. Let me just throw that in the bin, and then we can show you some of the pages that we've done. Loving these ones. Really, really do like these. That one is come out, which is the feathers from there. That one I'm loving because of all the designs on there. As this one. And then we've got lots here. Got a nice vibrant green one there. This one I'm loving too because I'm loving the feathers. Really, really like that one. I think I'll probably go over that one like I just did with the other one with a bit of a pattern. This is the Tim Holtz flowers on there, the wild flowers on both of those there, which is really nice. Another beautiful green one, and the first one we did, which is that one. So there we go, guys. I hope you'll give it a go. It is quite an expensive outlay because they're not cheap. But if you're into your sort of like mixed media, or you want to have a go, or it's another hobby that you would like to try, there are so many different ways that you can use it, and there are lots and lots of videos to watch as well. So I haven't even scratched the surface on these, but I'm just having a play, and that's what it is all about, crafting, isn't it? So there we go, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Please do take care of yourselves, stay safe, and I will see you all soon. All right, guys, bye bye.